Okay, welcome to Picture Day Podcast, everybody. I'm Kim McVicar.
I'm Eddie Furth.
And today we have a guest, Peter Murphy. Pew, pew, pew.
Hey, everybody. It's me.
Peter, welcome to Picture Day.
Thanks.
We go through your school life.
Oh, cool.
When did you start school?
I didn't have a choice. I
Okay.
started at a very young age.
Later than most, though.
No, but I don't know. We got pre-K, we got K.
That's a good point. I must have started in kindergarten.
Okay.
I don't
Classic.
know. Oh, maybe pre-K. Maybe pre-K.
What do you mean maybe? You don't remember?
No. What?
Is this all in Florida? I remember my first little teacher.
What's your earliest memory of school?
I was raised in Florida, but
Tampa?
before that, no, just below there, Cape Coral, Florida.
Oh,
But before there,
Oh, yeah, Cape Coral.
it sounds so fancy.
for sure, right? It is very
Is
fancy.
it more fancy than Tampa? Back then.
Here's what you know about it. Here's what we need to know about Cape Coral, Florida. One, it is the cheaper comparable city to Boca Raton.
Okay.
So anybody from the Northeast that's looking to retire, they look at Boca Raton and they're like, ooh, this is a little too pricey. Miami's way too pricey. What about the Gulf Coast? And Cape Coral, two things. It was never meant to inhabit people.
He's going to pass this test.
It was never meant to actually have people.
Uh-huh.
So these land developers developed the land and sold it as like summer.
Can you imagine if they weren't land developers? these
let me
people
put-
who don't develop land develop
These
land.
scam artists.
Oh, okay. That's more honest.
Two-person scam artists developed this land and sold it to people in the Northeast as summer year-round, right? However, because it was never meant to be inhabited by people, they had to,
What do you mean never meant to be inhabited?
because it's swampland.
Oh, got it. So
there
that wasn't
are more-
Disney that?
Good question, maybe. But this Cape Coral specifically, it has more canals than any city in the world, including Venice, Italy. But all of the canals are man-made. So it's, the city is just like maybe 6 to 8 inches off the ground.
Because they're trying to get the water a little bit out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So it's a total scam. Should have never existed.
When you said canals, I definitely was like, oh, you just mean like rivers that have gators in them. Like,
that too. Yeah,
yes.
yeah. But my first memory pre-K was in upstate New York, where I was born in Poughkeepsie, and my friend Adam at the time, like my young buddy, we were both in pre-K together, and we would, play with all the kids on the jungle gym and stuff like that. And then I moved to Florida in like kindergarten.
oh,
Nice.
wow. Your parents clearly, if it's a retirement community, your parents weren't retiring, were they?
No, so my grandmother had worked for IBM for 25 years.
Shout out to IBM.
Yeah.
My mom worked there.
Oh, that's right. Yes, that's what I ran them. And then my grandfather was in the military, and then he designed.
Shout out to the military.
Yeah.
I don't know anything about you, but I will learn one day.
But they were ready to retire, and my mom just brought me along.
She was like, wait, you just said my mom brought me along?
Brought me
So
along,
she
yeah.
has to. She's your mom.
Does she have to? She didn't
Yes.
have to. I mean, my dad
You were 5.
seemingly had an option. Yeah, I was 0. However old I was.
You were in a baby.
I
0 is
guess
you were in her
whatever.
tummy.
What's kindergarten? When do you
Her
start
tummy,
kindergarten?
yeah.
Zero
That's
and a
what you
half.
did.
Zero
started
and a half.
0,
You
yeah.
started 0 and a half.
Kindergarten? You're
I don't
5.
know.
It depends on if
Okay.
you're going with the empiric or metric scale. Empiric, you're not. Metric scale, it's at 0. It's you start at 0.
And the metric scale is only in Europe, like in
Exactly.
Canada.
Exactly.
Okay, so you were in kindergarten because your mom took her with you, which is so kind
Yeah,
of her.
she. There was room in the car.
Nice.
I love that you moved with your grandparents to go down there. Were you guys like a strong family unit? Clearly, that's your mom's side of the family.
Mm-hmm.
So you're with. What about where was your dad's side of the family then?
I still don't know.
Oh, that's
somewhere in Puerto Rico.
Got it.
And upstate New York. My dad, I think, was first generation American. I would have been of his lineage, essentially.
Hey guys, if you've seen his dad, let us know.
Yeah,
Call
let
the
us
number
know.
below. No, I'm
Oh,
kidding.
God,
you
your
see a
parents were
guy-
not together. God.
No. If you see a guy named Papo Rivera,
That's a fun name.
That's
Wait, where's
his real
Murphy
name.
from?
my mother's side,
Oh, okay.
and Irish,
You took your mom's last name.
because my parents were never married.
Ah, cool.
Yeah.
Your mom was smart.
He was busy that day that I was born.
So mine never didn't. Mine didn't come either.
Oh, really?
Yeah, no.
To the delivery room.
No, he didn't. He came 3 days later to sign the birth certificate after saying I wasn't his, and then he signed it and left.
I've
And I
heard.
never saw him.
I've heard that
Well, I did
mothers
eventually.
are nervous to let go of their kid, not just because of like maybe postpartum or whatever, but because kids get shuffled and you might go home with the wrong kid.
That's scary.
Yeah. Isn't that terrifying?
Look,
Yeah.
I've seen that on plenty of sitcoms. I'm sure it happens
Not
in
anymore.
real life
It could.
at some point.
Don't they put them in the room
mistakes
with you
happen.
now?
Now it feels like the best it's ever been to not make that mistake.
Also, how many people are having a kid at the exact same time as you?
Right. We're right.
You're
And my
thinking when
point
they're all
is-
in a room and it's all the babies just screaming in a room.
My point, yes,
they
you're exactly
put them
right.
into one basket.
used to
you
put 'em
come
in their
by,
own
you get anyone you
baskets.
want. You just pick them up. You're like, that one's a cute one.
Yeah.
My point is, we're all
That's how I'm
adults
gonna
here. The three
No,
of us are
we're
adults.
not.
And we should go to the baskets where the kids are
Exactly.
and just get one.
Pick one.
Well, that's my point too. No, we're not. The only thing that would qualify us to be adults is the fact that we're
Not
old
dead?
enough.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
But not everyone's good at their job, and people make mistakes. So you could go home with the wrong blue-eyed, blonde-haired baby.
Yeah.
So luckily, my grandparents were there. My grandpa was like, "This kid."
This is my kid.
They could identify you easily. They
Yeah,
were like,
I don't think they were
Look at
leaving
the
me.
size of his head. That's clearly ours.
Exactly. I don't think they were leaving. My grandpa goes, "This is Peter Francis Murphy the fourth."
The fourth.
Yeah, because he's the third.
And are you going to have a fifth?
Maybe if there's like a
But
dog
if you had
or
a
something.
kid, the dog?
Yeah.
Okay.
If
So
I have a kid and it's a boy, for sure, it's
the
Peter.
fifth.
It's Peter.
It
for
has
sure.
to be the fifth.
Yeah, it's a good name.
What
Works
if
for
you
me.
marry someone who's like, or have a baby with somebody who's like, no way? That's a lot. That's
Good
a lot.
question. That nearly happened. Do you want to? This is a long story, but I'll make it very short. That nearly happened to me last year.
Last year?
Yeah. So basically, I was born December 20th, right? 9 months before that is March, like St. Patrick's Day, right?
Mm-hmm.
My parents never dated, nothing. For all that I know, they met, they hooked up, and boom, I popped out.
That's Florida.
So yeah, baby. So then
No, that's Poughkeepsie.
I mean, it was in upstate New York, but very Florida vibes. But last year, I hooked up with this girl, and she got pregnant.
Oh, no!
After taking the Plan B the next day, she got pregnant, and then I
Did
was
you pay
like,
for
"Oh
part
my
of it?
gosh!" I paid for the whole thing. I had
Thank
to pay for the whole
you.
thing.
Thank
Yeah.
all
you.
$35 of the plan.
Just
B.
when
But I
people
paid-
don't pay for it, it's just like,
But
what?
but I paid for the Plan B, and then she missed her next period, and she was pregnant.
Oh, yeah.
I passed the
That's a
Plan B.
strong baby.
This is also while I know, right?
That's
we
a
should have maybe kept it,
strong
right?
baby.
Should have maybe kept it, and so they.
You kept trying to.
But then,
So you plan for it?
then some state may have some state passed like the abortion pill, like making it illegal to like send, and right around that time was when we needed it.
Oh, no.
So then we got it, thank God. And in December we kind of like passed each other, and it was like, it would have been coming out this week. It was like one of those things.
So did you guys hook up again as like an anniversary?
That is a great question. You know what's funny? When she called me to tell me she missed her period and she tested positive.
Yeah, that's not a text.
When she called me,
Definitely a call.
she said she missed her period. Then she took 2 pregnancy tests, both of them positive baby.
Both of them baby.
Both of them positive babies.
Both of
Just
them
a
baby.
test and it goes, baby alert.
Are we getting dark on this? Are we
She
getting
goes.
dark?
She said to me, she goes, "Well, it's not like I can get any more pregnant." And I was like insinuating
That's
that like
true.
we have more unprotected sex.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Oh no, this is."
I do a bit on how
That
much
is
I don't want to
exactly
have
the
children.
kind of person you're like, I don't think we should have a kid together. I love you. I want to be around you, but like, let's not bring a third. If these are your decisions, if this is your logical reasoning, like, yeah, we should do now.
You know what? It sounds
you?
appealing to me. We only hooked up that one time. It sounds appealing to me, but like for something in me was just like, no, better.
No,
not do
she's
it.
trying to trap you.
You think so?
I don't know.
Maybe.
Yeah. Okay.
Look,
never
as
know.
somebody who's been through a lot of therapy, those are just
Yeah.
those are just warning signs of like self-destructive behavior. I'm sure you're doing fine. You've done very well. You guys really worked this out well. But also in that moment, if that's your thought
Peter's
process,
like,
it's
you
a
both
little
know who
like
she is. I
it's a
don't know.
little
who
like
she is,
maybe I should handle the problem that's in front of me before.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah.
Like let me clear this up and then start to make the decisions that would start to.
Yeah,
produce the
I don't even
results
know
I
when
want.
you're supposed to start kindergarten. I thought it was at 0
It's
or
at-
1.
no, that-
Yeah, you
on
don't want
the-
to have a baby
on
with
the metric
Peter.
system,
You
it's
don't want to
0.
have that baby.
Nobody wants a
metric
baby
system,
with
it's 0.
Peter. Nobody wants a baby with Peter.
Okay, what kind
I
of kid
do.
were you?
What
Sorry,
kind
your
of
shoes are
kid?
really cool.
Thanks. Thank you. These are some shoes. What kind of kid was I?
Like rambunctious, loud, running around, or like quiet?
I was an only child. Mm-hmm. The only child of my father to not grow up with siblings, because I have half siblings I've never met.
Me too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Really?
They're Romanian.
Oh.
They don't speak English.
Oh wow. What kind of kid was I? I don't know, but as far back
think they
as I
speak
can
English, yeah.
remember,
I don't know.
as far back as I can remember, I was kind of annoying. I imagine. I only thought I was funny because I knew the most movie quotes.
Okay.
Uh,
So you thought you
and-
were a funny kid? Like as a kid, I'm not saying looking back. I'm saying like when you were a kid, you're like, I got this.
No, I was just loud and goofy and silly, and I didn't take much seriously. So,
What were your go-to movie quotes? In what movies?
oh,
What
it was
were
like
your-
Anchorman,
Nice.
something in Anchorman, or like.
What's your most watched movie from school days? Like, what was the one that you put on
a great
repeat? You
question.
put on the. I have two from different
What are they?
stages of my.
Interesting.
So
Yeah. What are yours?
after preschool, actually, in preschool, my mom would pick me up from preschool. We would get a Subway sandwich from Pine Hill Deli, like a real deli down the street. I would go home and I would watch Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory every
This
day.
explains the outfits.
That's cool.
And turns out, around the corner, Gene Wilder. I grew up next door neighbors to Gene Wilder,
No
so I would go
kidding.
trick or treating at his house. Gilda Radner and he walked by when I was a kid before she passed.
That's crazy.
He was my next door neighbor. I grew up,
Really?
he was around town, Stamford, Connecticut, and he was literally around the corner from me. And my bus stop was in front of his house. I'd see him playing tennis in the afternoon.
That's cool.
Wow.
So,
that's
and
very
this was
cool.
my mom didn't pick that movie because we were neighbors. I just loved that movie. That's incredible.
You just
movie.
gravitated towards it. Huh.
And then by middle school, White Men Can't Jump.
Oh,
Matt
interesting.
Leiterstein and I watched White Men Can't Jump twice a weekend, every
I have
weekend
so
for
many
2
things
or
to
3
tell
years
you
straight.
later.
Wow.
You were-
really?
wait, were you in White Men Can't
talk.
Jump?
No. I do.
Oh, we can't talk- we
no,
can't talk
I was
about
not
it.
in it.
Were you in it? Because
signed
if
an
you were in
NDA.
it,
No, I was not in it.
I so badly wanted to remake that movie, and I for years was like, that'll be one of those weird projects that like later I'll do it, and then I was like, no one wants to. Who's gonna remake White Men Can't Jump? And then Jack Harlow did it, and it wasn't.
did.
And it didn't even like make a splash. It
My
had to be-
That's right. It's on Hulu, wasn't it?
yeah.
Something like that.
Because
Well,
think
you guys
about
know
getting
so
like
much
the
about
roast
movies.
battlers to start the movie the way they did.
I never know movie titles.
Because they were
anymore.
all. They were
Oh,
all,
you're like a mom.
I did back then because you had to get the VHS.
Oh,
Because
right.
you had to get it. But now I don't know movie titles. My two movies that I watched
Yeah.
all the time, which probably say a lot about me.
Land Before Time.
No, I did watch that one though, and I definitely had it. But my two favorite, Sister Act.
Oh,
Nice.
wait.
Sister Act 1 and 2. But like,
Okay.
what was Sister Act? It was this, like two like guys like kidnap Whoopi. Like it's insane how many guns are in it.
Yeah.
And then
yeah.
it's either Kindergarten Cop for sure. I
Oh,
watched
that's
the most.
so good.
Who is your daddy and
Yeah,
what does
I was
he
like,
do?
where is my? I always thought it was gonna happen to me, like that my dad would look for me, and he didn't. I was always like, oh, everyone's so
Still
upset
kind
with
of
this
sad
dad.
about it.
But this-
Clearly, why wasn't your father a criminal who would come looking for you to try to
and
kidnap you
and
from your
beat
mother?
the crap out of a guy for a
Yeah.
train set. That was like
God.
my favorite
Why
part.
doesn't
when he
your
takes
father love you?
He tries to buy the train set from the other guy,
Yeah.
and he's like, and the guy's like, it's for my kid. He's like, no, it's for my kid, and he beats the shit out of him, and then he just like takes
that
the train
happened
set.
in
I'm like,
Jingle All the Way also,
see,
didn't it? Yeah.
What would have happened
For
if your
Turbo
father
Man.
did show up, but he had that ponytail?
if he had a ferret, no, because I would have had the ferret.
The ferret.
I wouldn't. I don't know. I probably would have. See, because this is before cell phone, so it's not even like you can call your mom and be like, "Dad's here." It's just like I would have been like,
Right.
"Are you my dad?" I would have asked. I wouldn't have trusted him.
Yeah.
Well, it's interesting. As a kid, I watched a lot of TV,
Mm-hmm.
like glued to MTV, glued to Comedy Central. But as far as movie, your movie, Sister Act, I would say Sister Act 2
I could do all the
is one of
dances
the
from it.
few sequels that surpasses the original.
It is a very good sequel, but it's also a totally different storyline.
Yeah, of course.
They're two totally different storylines.
I love it, and it
I love them
launched Lauryn Hill's career.
Oh
right?
yeah.
But
I
like
think
the
she was
quotes,
famous before it,
the
actually.
quotes that I think she might have been.
Yeah, her
the
CD
quotes
had already
that
come out. I already had it.
I would yell were like from like Old School and Anchorman. It's like very frat pack, bro-y type stuff.
I used to always say, "No shit, Sherlock." That's like that was my go-to like
So
seventh
it's like,
grade
is
set.
that something that Will
I don't know
Ferrell
who said it, but I did a lot. Like to an annoying part where my siblings would be like, "Stop it!" And I'd be like, "No shit, Sherlock." Like,
Yeah, keep
yeah, that's
digging,
right.
Watson.
I could say shit.
Yeah.
yeah.
That was the retort to that.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like keep digging, Watson.
Oh, I never did. I
Oh,
never
yeah,
did-
yeah.
No shit, Sherlock was my go-to. So you didn't watch movies; you're more TV.
It was more TV. Yeah, MTV was always on. Comedy Central was always on.
Were you good in school, like grade-wise?
No, I would pass.
You pass.
I was passing.
Did you get passing money? We asked this last time. I'm just interested.
passing money?
Like, did you get money when you graduated or like a gift?
Oh,
I used to get
interesting.
passing money. I used to get money just to pass. Like
And
get
that's
a
what
D.
motivated
and
you.
a D would be a pass.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
But
It was
that
like my
less-
You
mom
got
was like,
paid for it.
just go to
That's easy.
school.
You got money for D's?
But I also didn't have to go to school, right? Because I was already working.
That's fair.
So in my mind, I was like, I don't have to be here.
Okay.
Because I was
Whoa.
already touring. So it was like,
Oh,
I
I
don't
see.
have to go to school.
I-
But I
My
did.
parents were not paying me for any of my grades.
My mom paid
Really.
all of her kids, though. All
Did you
of
get
us.
an allowance also?
I think we did for a little bit, and then I asked not to get an allowance at one point because I found out
Wow.
if you got an allowance and you wanted something, she'd be like, save up your allowance. But if you didn't get your allowance, she would just buy you the thing. So I just said, let's do no more allowances.
That's genius.
And it made more sense.
I have a friend who lives in New York City. Her name's Christina. She's a great pastry chef, and she's never owned a credit card, so she does not have a credit score. Her credit score is not 0. It's just
It's non-existent
NA.
until someone steals her ID.
that's genius. Yes,
That's
exactly.
brilliant.
But like, I didn't really. Yeah.
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 No, I didn't get passing money. I was just expected to
To do it.
pass.
Yeah, okay.
And it was
was
this interesting thing of this interesting parenting decision where my grandparents would like lie to me.
Nice. About
Like,
what?
Like, oh well, your grandfather was so good at writing essays and math, and your grandmother
They'd
was
make
so great
fake
at science
heroes?
and math. But my grandfather dropped out when he was like 16 and he joined the military. So like that was a lie. and then my grandmother went to like a vocational school, because she, she just wanted to work for IBM or whatever.
Don't you think that that's like, they are the best? I mean, I think we're the best generation, really, but like they're close to the best generation because they could lie.
Yeah, and get away with it.
Yeah, like,
That's good.
like
And you
we're the best generation because we didn't have the internet, hardcore, or phones or any of that for our childhood.
Right.
But so we know like how to get through the world if shit hits the fan, and we can still use a phone, which makes us better than
Yeah.
people who don't.
Yeah.
Get it? But
yes.
They
Also
got to
back
lie.
then. Yeah, you could
They
lie.
got to like lie.
You could lie
Like
and you
they
could
could
skip
give
town.
babies
You
to
could skip
people.
town.
Yeah, like
Peter, that's
like
the
your
one part I
cousin
missed.
could really be your brother.
When you could leave town and you could just
New
go somewhere else.
identity.
They wouldn't find you. You could just start
Yeah, even as
new.
a high school kid now, they'd
Yeah.
probably look at your Instagram and be like, "Oh, you weren't popular in your last school." Like you can't even change your little kid ID.
Like a Don
like,
Draper in
kid-
Mad Men, like I used to be Dick Whitman, but it doesn't matter anymore, and you could just show up.
Yeah, the discipline you would have to have today to not be
You
on
have to
social
wipe out
media.
your social media.
Almost impossible.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah. Social media, dating apps, everything. Yeah, it'd be
What were your
impossible.
favorite? What were your favorite shows as a kid? TV. I was a big TV kid too. A lot
Yeah.
of like, that's like Family and Babysitter and like my regular activity. What were yours?
Yeah, interesting. Comedy Central, MTV, like I said, but also Nickelodeon, lots of Nickelodeon. So I
Yeah.
loved watching all that. I loved
Yeah.
watching SNL reruns on Comedy Central.
Oh yeah, because they would play the older ones, the ones that were
Mhm.
licensed differently.
Keenan and Kel, I loved. Oh my gosh! But my two favorite shows, the Wayans Brothers and the Jamie Foxx Show.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, I was glued to the WB, the WB all the time. It just always had something interesting. And then I was growing up in the Attitude Era of WWF, WWE, whatever. And I loved following like the Nation of Domination and
You're, like,
Stone
glowing.
Cold and
Yeah.
Stone Cold and all those guys. It's
Oh,
great.
yeah.
I love D'Lo Brown. He was fun. I had like a Ninja Turtle. I was super into Ninja Turtles. And when I was really young, my mom got me the Ninja Turtle some action figures, because she worked at Toys R Us.
Nice.
That was pretty cool.
Nice.
She worked at Toys R Us, and then she worked at a grocery store as well, which was sweet. But I would fill up the bathtub, go underwater, and then play with my Ninja Turtles. But then when I got a little older, I had this not life
You
size,
would
but
do the
like
exact same thing.
like a Ninja Turtle that was maybe like 3 feet, and I would practice all the wrestling moves on it.
Yeah.
Slam him and throw him and stuff like that.
Did you have posters
Which is
up in your room?
I did.
Who'd you have up?
I did. Good question. So I played soccer my whole life, and so I had a couple
The
posters.
timeline. I'm like,
Okay.
since
gee.
you were 0,
From zero in
since-
kindergarten until
5, or are you
No.
starting
I
kindergarten?
think I played soccer starting in fourth grade.
No one's fact checking. I'm just
Fourth grade. No,
Okay.
no, no. I mean, yeah, I wanted to check it. I think it was 7.
Okay.
So wait, that's second grade?
I think so.
Okay, so I was
First or
7.
second?
I was 7
Maybe
years old,
first grade.
and then I started playing soccer, and I didn't stop until I had to have shoulder surgery in college.
Ooh, that's a long time.
Yeah. So yeah, I played. Yeah,
So you had soccer posters up.
yeah. So I had Tim Howard, who's my favorite
No ladies.
goalkeeper. Any ladies? No ladies. I don't think.
Any bands?
Good question. No, I had some New York Yankees, Derek Jeter.
Sports.
Yeah, a lot of sports.
So were you like
yeah,
a
that's it.
dude's dude in high school?
What do you mean?
I
I don't know. Like
It
a
sounds
dude.
like
this.
sports.
What's it? Yeah. No,
Yeah.
I want to hear
A
Kim's definition of a
dude's
dude's dude.
Yeah,
In
what's a
high
dude's
school?
dude? Yeah.
In high school, in like late 2000s, early 2000s, late 90s, that era, I'm thinking that would have been like a guy who like all the other guys liked because he played sports and he was like a jokester, but
Right.
also like
Were you on the
didn't
soccer
take
team?
life
Were you
graduated-
in high school? Were you on the soccer team?
Yeah. So I graduated high school 06.
Okay.
You're
You're like so mad at me that
Yeah, I was like late
I'm
90s.
going by my age. That's my age. I'm 41.
Sure.
So I'm just
Really?
going off
Really?
I know I look fucking great.
There's no way.
I'm 41.
That's
So
shocking.
I
to me,
I
actually.
graduated in 2001, high school.
I'm 67.
Wow.
Wow,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
look great.
That makes sense. I mean, I was just like so unaware of myself. Some people thought I was obnoxious, and some people were like, "Oh, this kid's kind of funny." I remember in high school what we would do. Me and my buddy Joey, my buddy Jordan, and Blake, we would sing we would just sing through the hallways, like Boys to Men or like some old old R&B song. And so that was like how obnoxious we were.
Nice.
Did you do school shows too?
Talent show?
So I did play soccer, and I played soccer like into college and
Yeah.
like all that, like I said. So I was like on the varsity team.
Did you
for my
graduate college?
That's interesting. I actually
What do you mean that's interesting?
I finished.
This sounds like a sex talk. Okay, so I finished, but it didn't really count.
I finished.
But when
But I
he did, he
don't
bought
use
the
it-
plan B.
but I don't use her as my number. Yeah,
Well-
exactly.
Well, I don't want to graze over high school because I was so cool.
We can go
man.
back.
But today, March
Wait, you graduated today?
26th. No, listen to this. March 26th, 2024. I went to 2 colleges. I went to Birmingham Southern College and I went to Nyack College. Birmingham Southern College, obviously in Alabama. Nyack College in New York.
Okay.
Not too far from the city. That school campus closed a couple years ago, Nyack. Today, Birmingham Southern College, they're closing. They announced that they're closing their
Oh,
doors.
so you feel like your degrees don't count because
So-
both colleges quit?
Yes.
Oh, but
Both
that's not real. That's not
institutions
how it
are
works.
But
But do you have to
do
pay
not
your
exist.
your loans? So I feel like if your college
Mm-hmm.
quits, your degree should still count because it's kind of like if a parent leaves, you're still alive. That didn't matter, right?
That's a good
But then when
point.
it comes to paying your bills, you shouldn't have to pay the bill because it's not there
Yeah.
anymore.
Well,
Who
this
are they
is
paying?
another-
They're not
exactly.
paying any
Somebody
teachers
bought
anymore.
the debt.
They were
It's terrible.
$38 million in debt. And this is another point. Like, not, you can be an adult, but that doesn't mean you're good at your job. If you're an adult, that means you're losing babies, shuffling babies. your college is getting shut down.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy. I was on a soccer scholarship for both, so I didn't have any loans
Mm-hmm. Oh,
or
nice.
any outstanding
Nice.
payments. But they did me dirty at Birmingham because we were Division I school, Division I athletics, and we were in the Big South Conference. But then when I got there, I don't know what was happening. It might have been the school was struggling, but they decided to go from Division I to Division III so that they can incorporate a football team because there was some statistic. There were 2 things happening. There was some statistic that said for every football player on
about
a
money they get
college
back.
thing, they'll attract 3 just regular students. And it's Alabama. I go, okay, whatever. But then all of the teachers thought that they were teaching at Harvard. Like they were like, oh, your academics are more important now because we're going to Division III. And it's like, I don't think so. And also like, this is a small
What'd you
school
get your
in
degree in?
Alabama, right? I was studying business.
Oh, nice. That's
Yeah,
a
yeah.
nice basic.
Yeah.
Thing to have.
I didn't know what I wanted to do. I just wanted to play soccer.
But having a business degree makes sense. It's like an easy. Or did it teach you anything?
Well, I was lucky because it was one of the best rated business schools at the time in the South. And I was like, I'm going to get out of Florida, but not too far. So it just went right to Alabama. Did it teach me anything? Not really. It taught me that like I shouldn't have taken on 20 credits in my freshman, first semester, because we were also like traveling around the country to play soccer, and I had no time to study anything. And luckily, I got some like grade forgiveness there because you have to keep a certain
What happens with your college
grade point average to play in the NCAA.
So when you graduate college or university, right? And your grades, who's asking for them? Like when
I
you go
dropped
for
out
a
of
job,
college. I have no idea.
do people ask for your, like if you apply for a job and they say, oh, where'd you graduate? You say, I got my BFA, whatever, all the letters. And then they don't ask what your grades were.
I feel like in the first couple years, you want to say depending on the profession, you want to say, like if you're a lawyer trying to get into a law firm and you went to law school,
then
you
want
to
to
be able to say I was
4.0 or
at the
whatever.
top 10% of my class in this school.
You could just say that.
Yeah.
I don't know what it means, but I know they say magna cum laude, and that's supposed to be important as well.
Just lie.
But if you're a nursing student and you're going to go work at a hospital, unless it's it's hyper competitive in whatever field it is. So if you're going for a super competitive job in a super competitive area, that's one thing.
Yeah.
But for an average job, I got to imagine they're just.
Why did you drop?
I dropped out because I was going to the wrong school for the wrong reasons. I was never really supposed to go to college. I should have entered the workforce right out of high school. And as silly as it sounds, I went to school, I was gonna be a basketball coach. So I went to a college where I was gonna work with the basketball team for a few years and try to transfer to a high level, like a Duke, a UConn, like with a big men's program and get in as a basketball coach. But it wasn't the right path ultimately. And I found acting and performing my senior year of high school. And so by freshman year, my life was different. I didn't want to do that thing. And my mom was like, you don't have to go. Like, if you don't want to do this, don't do this.
Wow.
And I dropped out of college to go.
Freshman year?
After one semester.
Smart. You didn't waste your time, though. A lot of people do like 2 years or 3 years.
Went straight to New York, theater, classes. I got right into performing and in the workforce. And but for real.
That's so cool.
Yeah, I'm very lucky. All of my friends were surprised because I was also in a hyper-competitive area. I was supposed to go to an Ivy League school. I was supposed to be a lawyer or a politician. Like, they sent me to Washington in high school. I was doing that stuff, but it was not what I wanted to do. Not my thing. We talked about it last time. A first grade teacher lied to me, and it broke my trust in the system. So by that point, I was like, I was independent because my parents were divorced, so I had been taking care of myself. And so then I would go to college. I was like, you guys don't even take care of yourselves. What are you doing? Like, we're grown up. Like, come on, we're grown ups. Let's go. And so I dropped out right away and became a performer and tried to learn the craft legitimately in theater in classes right away. And I was like, I'm an experienced person, like experience in the workforce. Like, go do it and you'll figure it out. Person.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I was dead set on playing soccer, and I wanted to play Division I because that was the highest amateur level. Obviously, it is, still more or less. But I was like, I'll go anywhere, any port in the storm. And so I, went to take a bunch of different university visits. I went to Birmingham. I had a cup of coffee with Princeton. He brought up Ivy League schools. And then I almost went to St. Bonaventure until I had a soccer coach tell me it's going to get so cold in upstate New York. Like, it's like Canada. And so I was like, ooh, nutty. But then I was just like, I left my course load to, I don't know. I just basically like, Christmas treat it, but I picked like the hardest classes. I was like, so dumb. All I wanted to do was, be a dumb student athlete.
I wanted to play basketball, but I wasn't good enough by any stretch of the imagination. But I knew I'd get into coaching. I ended up coaching high school basketball.
Right.
That's fun.
But it was trying to get into. I totally get, and that lifestyle, because you were basically a professional athlete, right?
Yeah, it was really tough. But
you
like,
have to work.
Oh yeah, and like
all the time.
Yeah, it was really rough. But at the same time, but it was fun. Yeah. But at the same time, nobody now is going to be looking at my grades because I don't think those institutions. Who keeps those records? Who keeps those records?
He got a 4.0 and he's cum laude.
A cum laude.
Well, let's see what you learned and let's take a test.
Okay.
You guys want to do a test?
I think he's gonna pass. I think you're gonna pass.
Let's see. This is.
I don't think I'm gonna do well in this one.
We're gonna find out. So sometimes we do fourth grader tests. Sometimes we do whatever. Today we're gonna do immigration. I think you made it small on the little thing just to click it big. Yeah.
We went over this
You
last
just made
time,
it
Peter,
small in the right corner.
because
I
I
think.
was identified
there it
as
is.
smart and special growing up.
He gets
How
cranky.
good I
doesn't
want
he?
to do on this is something I am really.
So this
working.
says
Like, I gotta be
2008
right.
civics practice test. This is like the green card test because, as you guys know, I'm thinking about getting my green card.
Okay.
So I figure I might as well learn through the podcast. The question is, what is the name of the national anthem? What is the name of the national? You guys,
I know that one.
You should know that the last time I took a green card test, both of you were not here. I found out that George Washington is your first president, and I always thought it was Thomas Jefferson because everyone talks about him more.
I don't know about you, Peter.
Interesting.
I don't like the way you said your first president. Like I didn't pick him. I wasn't there for
you guys
it.
are American though. Okay.
He just showed up.
True.
Okay, and any one of us can answer. What country 'tis of the I need glasses. The Star
this one
Spangled
I can't
Banner.
see as easily.
God bless the USA, America the beautiful.
All great in titles. All great names for a child.
Do you know this one, Peter?
I do know this one.
What do you think it is?
I
Kim?
literally just
Yeah.
went to go sing the song, and the first thing that came out of my mouth was "Oh Canada."
Can we pick "Oh
Oh,
Canada"?
my native land. Okay, wait.
I can tell you this.
Okay, my country tis of these wrong because that's a different song. It's like my country tis of thee, land and liberty.
That's right.
Why are you
Because I'm
holding
a
the
singer.
mic?
Were
Why are
you
you
a
holding
singer
the-
or a
It's the
dancer?
Star Spangled Banner.
Yeah.
It's B. Do we
except
agree?
For,
yeah,
except for
that's
that
the
2
answer.
months after 9/11 when it was God Bless the USA. That was our national anthem for the 2 months after 9/11.
Except
We
for ever
clicked on
since
B.
Flow
Do you guys
Rida
agree B?
came out with My House. Yes.
Okay, we're right.
It is
Woo-hoo.
B. That's correct.
All right. What? Oh, this
Francis
is so
Scott
long.
Key, right? Who wrote it?
What
Was it
is the
Francis
name
Scott
of
Key?
the national? Wait, we just did that. Oh, this is the next question. It
You
says
need
the
glasses.
stars. I do. Can you read it from where you are?
Yeah,
What's it say?
more or less.
Oh, that was a picture for fun. I thought I was
Yeah.
supposed to read that picture as the next question, and I was like, oh, crap.
geez.
Here, read. You read.
The Federalist Papers supported the passage of the U.S. Constitution. Name one of the writers. Okay, who watched Hamilton?
Wait, what's the Federalist paper? Oh, fuck.
Didn't you
I
see
never
Hamilton?
Get my green card.
I
I-
could not get through Hamilton when it came
I
out on
started
Disney
to watch
Plus.
it on TV, and I was like, this is shit.
Let me tell you,
Really?
they started
I didn't like
rapping,
it.
and when they didn't stop after
But
that
it's
first
John
song,
Adams,
I was like,
right?
"You're gonna rap the whole time." I cannot do it.
You don't like musicals? I mean, I don't love
I don't
musicals,
like
but like I'm like
musicals
whatever.
either.
I couldn't do it.
I don't know this.
John Adams is my guess.
That's my educated guess as well. That would be my
what
guess.
are the choices?
John Adams,
John-
James Madison, George Washington, Thomas Jefferson.
John Adams, I think, was in Hamilton.
It sounds like he was in Hamilton.
So,
But do you guys know
we
what?
got it wrong.
Oh, who was it?
Oh no, James Madison. Dang it.
Okay, wait.
That's
the
what I was gonna
Federalist
say.
paper. But what? Do you know what the Federalist paper is?
James Madison, Alexander Hamilton,
You're allowed to chime
and
in if you know
John Jay
anything.
wrote the Federalist
I'll
Papers.
cheat all day
Damn.
if you have the answer to the test.
Oh God, I remember that. Now that you said it, I remember junior year, Miss Lesh. I remember it now. I would not have gotten that.
But
beforehand.
what's the Federalist?
The Federalist paper was written by those guys right before the the Constitution.
So this is the pre-Constitution?
Yeah, it's like
I suppose.
It's like
a-
the
I'm gonna be
engagement
so
photos
wrong. I'm gonna be
versus
so wrong,
the
but
wedding
yeah.
photos?
This was the
This
pre-meeting.
is like what it feels like.
They got
this is like
together
the
to talk
meeting the
about it.
dad
That's so
before you
funny.
propose and
Yeah,
drafting up your
yeah.
first proposal.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Okay. I'll still have to look into more on what a
Well,
Federalist
All right,
is.
what's
I
the
thought that
next
was a
one?
good guess, but I guess I'm wrong.
I felt like you were right. Who's John Adams?
That's my truth.
The second.
You only get to know who John
Mm-hmm,
Adams. He's the president.
He was the second. He was Paul Giamatti
Wait, this is good,
in that
'cause now
great
I know the second
HBO
president.
miniseries.
That's right,
He's the
that's
second
right.
president, John Adams.
George Washington, John Adams.
Yeah.
Got two.
There we go. Then Abraham Lincoln.
I can't do anymore. We're
Bill
doing one at
Clinton.
a time. Don't fuck with me. My friend used to live near his house.
Well, I was Gene Wilder's next door neighbor.
That's
so.
true. You knew it.
Okay, in what month do we vote for president?
January, November, October, February. November. I've been here for this.
You've been here.
That's
January
great.
is when you swear them in, and everyone knows the 6th now, so
Yeah.
that's easy.
But this is what you should also know. It is
Oh, I should.
November. The answer is November, but it's also
it's like right before the holidays. That's dumb.
it's the first Tuesday after the first Monday. It cannot be. We can't vote on November 1st.
But it's the first Tuesday after the first Monday, meaning like if October 31st is a Monday, then it can't be that Tuesday. It's
That's
the
right.
following Tuesday.
Yeah.
Why?
I don't quite know. Maybe we'll find out
Is there like
I don't think we'll find out in the next question, but I told you to fucking look. I told you, like you knew some shit.
But
That's
I'd like to know. I'd like to know
Like
why.
You would
like
make a great dad.
superstition?
That's all I'm going to say. You'd make a great dad. I don't
That's
know
so
if you'd make a
funny.
great father, but I know you'd make
What's
a great
the
dad.
difference?
I have a great bit.
Big
about
difference. A father is the kind of person
I
who
didn't
makes
have
sure you
either.
have
I'm trying to learn.
health care, and they drop like they were there and they provided shelter and food. A dad,
Yeah.
a dad throws the ball around, is active and
yeah.
loving, and hugs you, and that kind of stuff.
I didn't know there was.
Yeah,
So
there's
the
different
father
types of
provides
dads.
the basics. That's a responsibility. The dad is I'm going to elevate to the level of
Yes.
helping this person actually grow,
There's
not just survive.
There's a lot of different dads. Like there's the trivia dad. You know trivia dad?
No.
Trivia dad's like the dad that like a song will come on the radio and be like, who's this? Who knows? Who knows who sings this? Who sings this? Crosby, Stills, and Nash. That's
Yeah.
right. Yeah, that dad that like knows trivia all over. Then there's like the overly affectionate dad,
Never
right?
met him.
It's like I love
Then
you.
there's a helicopter dad, but you
Helicopter
guys had
dad,
a
ooh.
helicopter down dad, right? The one that crashed before you got to. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I think it's November.
November.
I would feel like imagine how much of an asshole I would be if it was in November.
After you
We
said the
vote
whole
on
thing, you're like
November
the first.
1845. Congress divided. I can't read it. It's too
Congress
far,
decided it
but-
was a perfect month to have elections.
Yeah, it's cold as
great.
shit. No one will walk. Think about like different places, like the snow during that.
Oh yeah.
That's fucked up.
Oh boy.
That is fucked up. Okay, what does the Constitution do?
Wow.
Great. What does it do? Okay, let's talk about that.
What doesn't it do?
Well,
It
This
Oh,
is tricky. This
A
is tricky.
is define the government, right?
Yeah.
B is protects basic rights of Americans.
Mm-hmm.
C is set up the government. And D is all of these answers. Not all of the above, all of these answers.
What do you think it is, Kim?
Okay, wait, what is the Constitution? The Constitution,
Constitution.
is that the thing that has the amendments at the end? Like that's when they like try to fix things that they messed up?
Well, we were
Thank
just
you.
talking about the Constitution.
I really know
He's
nothing
like-
about any of
he's
it.
like,
No,
he's like,
I'm
yes,
not American.
Yes, you fucking
I should
idiots.
know this shit. So the Constitution's the main paper that those few dudes signed, and then they were like, "No women can have babies." Got it. Check.
I think that's in there too. They're
So
like, no
it
women
can't be
can ever have
protect the
babies.
people because that's not what happened.
Protect the basic rights of Americans.
That's not what happened. If you can't have, I'm just saying, if you can't have an abortion, you're not protecting. I guess they're thinking of that a future American baby.
Did they wait an amendment? There are yeah.
I bet you the answer is all of these answers, but I don't think it should be. Does that make sense?
Look,
Wow.
if we're gonna get into a debate,
Like if I'm
of
trying
what
to get
should
my
or
green
shouldn't
card,
be
I'm gonna say
within-
all of the answers.
within our
But-
government at this moment.
Yeah.
I think D, none of the above. Like,
You're saying the Constitution is outdated?
I want to get my green card.
that I think to me, I don't know the specific answer. I would pick protect the rights of the people, but it does feel like all of the above is the right answer. Do you know what I mean? Like it's one of those.
Based on
Sets up the
context
government
clues.
and it
in.
defines the government. What do you think?
My guess is D.
Yeah.
Let's
because
go, D's
all the-
nuts.
all the
I couldn't
Plus,
help
at
myself.
that point,
Sorry.
if we're wrong, we're at least 1/3.
Wait,
right.
were we right? That's green.
We were correct,
Boom.
yes.
All of the above. Boom. I knew that was what the Constitution
creates the federal government. It says how
I would
federal
say you should
government
read the
works.
Constitution, but
Yeah, I
most
will.
Americans haven't. You
No,
don't
I
have
will.
to. It's
I think
not-
I did.
For me, the Constitution is like
The
does this
movie's
feel
better.
right?
Don't worry.
And also, I should say this. There's a lot of Canadians who know American history.
Oh,
I'm just not good at this stuff, right? Like, we don't learn it in school, so we don't need to know it. But like,
As an
I'm
American,
not
I know
a good
Canadian
representative
history.
of Canadians.
I
Is
know
it-
Canadian history.
Good.
Oh.
Bret Hart and the Hart family, the
That's right.
dungeon,
They're
the dungeon
great,
in Calgary,
dude.
Alberta. I
Heck
know
yeah.
a lot about the history of Canada.
So is
The
like
best there is, the best there was, and best there ever would be.
Bret the Hitman Hart. Oh yeah, dude. Can't forget about the
We can do
Montreal
next
screw
question,
job.
Lee.
Screw job. Wait, in Canada, is American history like how is it looked at? Like, isn't that cute? They
Well,
did
I'm going
this?
by when I was in school because I'm sure it's different now. But when I was in school, it was always that America was the bullies who didn't just take care
Yeah.
of their own people. They tried to like bully the neighborhood.
Oh yeah,
And
like
Canada
world
was
police?
like better because we were like, we just took care of our own and mind our own business. So it's like, what kind of neighbor do you want on your block? Do you want someone who's snooping in your doors and then like telling you what you can and cannot do when they're the ones who have like a shitty lawn and aren't fixing it? Like that would be the idea of America. And
yeah.
Canada was just the person whose doors were Like they'd say hi to you, but they were just taking care of their own shit.
like Kim
one's
grew up
invited.
in like the Missouri of Canada. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
this
I mean, I
sounds
grew up
like
in
a
Toronto.
Missouri-
I grew up in the city of
you grew in
Canada.
it sounds
make
like a
it-
very Missouri.
But it
You
just
make it
sounds like
seem-
that's like that's how I interpreted what my teachers talked to me about America. Because we had like
Yeah.
the War of 1812 is like the only American history I know.
Right. You make it seem like
And you guys
look
won't call it
down-
a war, even though the title's A War of America.
Hey.
It's War of 1812, and then you guys are like, it's a conflict. Fuck you. You call it a war.
Yeah. Is it hard to get into Canada? Are the borders tough?
To get your green card in Canada?
Yeah.
It's harder to get your green card in Canada than to get it in America, yes.
Racist.
It has nothing to do with race.
Sure.
You have to have a job skill that Canada needs to fulfill from any country.
And don't you guys
And
in
then you have
Canada?
to like take a test. So it literally changes every year what they accept because it's based on, oh, we don't have enough scientists, so we need more scientists. Or we don't have enough this, so we need more this.
and you go out and you recruit them.
No. Then those are the people just submit all the time, and then they're like, "Oh, scientists." Like,
Oh,
You know what I
from
mean?
Canada.
No, I'm
within
talking like
Canada.
other
People are trying to
countries.
get to
Oh,
into
to
like,
Canada.
That's
yeah.
what you were
Apply.
asking, right?
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, America's just like, give me $10,000. I'm
Is
sure
that
it's
how much
more now.
this
That's how
is?
much it cost when I got here.
Oh my goodness.
Just $10K for a lawyer, and you got to do blood test, drug test, and an interview.
And I
And
can't
half
drive.
the interview is English. You have to speak English.
And an American can't drive up to Canada if they have a DUI.
No. You
Give
can
me a
go
break.
into Canada. You just can't work as a stand-up comic if you have a DUI. Yes.
Lame.
Because too many Americans had DUIs. But it's the state of Florida. A Canadian can't drive in the fast lane legally. It's on the books.
Wow.
Because too many Canadians were causing car accidents
Good.
in Florida. See? So it's tit
Stay
for tat.
out.
Tit for tat.
Stay out.
Yeah, you can't come to my country and I can't drive in your fast lane.
Yeah. Don't come to my country of Florida.
That was the weird. That was the weirdest tangent I've ever experienced in my life. Like, how did you guys know that about each
We were
other?
both very feisty
You know,
in it.
fucking Canadians can't drive in Florida, man. What the fuck?
All I want to know is why the American flag has 50 stars.
Well, this is the question.
What?
Why does the flag have 50 stars? Because there is one star for each president.
Yes,
because there's
obviously.
one star for. Wait, that would mean we'd have to keep adding stars.
do.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Haven't
Trump's
you
would have to
noticed
be
that?
bigger.
You didn't notice they've been adding stars? the whole time?
Because where are the other
I don't do
impossible
drugs.
answers there? Were 50 people who originally came to the United States? Oh, that sounds
That's
nice.
a good one.
That's a fun
I
one.
like that one. I wish it were that.
There's and what's the last one?
Because there were 50 original colonies.
I mean, it's B, which is because there's one star for each state. We agree. We're all
guess.
confident.
Yeah,
you
you
guys,
might
I
be
might get my
right.
green card.
You might be
might.
right.
I still think this is your actual
Okay.
test. That we're doing it with you.
Right.
Thank
this
you.
is question
I mean,
5
if this
of-
counts, this would be great. If I
would
could
be
just take this to the green card office and be like, here's an unedited film, you can check it.
Yeah.
Please give me my green card. Here's my $10,000.
You should be allowed to bring in like 1 or 2 friends.
yeah,
should definitely
that are
be-
American.
We
'Cause
should definitely be
why
able to
not?
submit a podcast to become an American
To
citizen.
prove
That should definitely be the standard. If you,
I should
if
just
you
give
have
them
a
my
podcast, just submit
taxes.
it.
I've been
Yeah.
paying taxes.
To
They see
prove
how
your
much
quota.
I pay.
Oh, wow. Here you go.
What is the name of the Speaker of the House of Representatives right now? But is this from 2008 civic practice test? So does that mean in 2008? you see what I'm saying?
This is
This is
now
up to date?
because this is now.
That's fucked up that it has the 2008 thing.
I can't read from here, but B definitely looks like Magic Johnson.
It's Mike.
Mike
It says
Mike
Chuck
Johnson,
Schumer,
Chuck
Mike
Schumer,
Johnson,
Kamala Harris, Joe Biden.
Got
So I'm assuming the president.
I can tell you right now, I
Can't-
don't know the answer to this. I just know 2 of them that it isn't.
I do know. Oh.
Go for it. What were you gonna say?
Well, which 2 would you say it's not?
I would venture some money to say it's not Joe Biden or Kamala Harris.
Right? Because they can't be because they're
not. 'Cause
busy.
They have a job already.
right? They can't also be in the house.
Yeah, so it's a coin flip between Mike Johnson and Chuck
Wasn't
Schumer.
Mike Johnson the president or no? There's some Johnson.
That's Lyndon B. Johnson.
Probably Lyndon B. Johnson. That sounds familiar.
I have a guess, but I want to hear your guesses.
I hear the name Chuck Schumer a lot, and I know people are upset with him.
But also, that's such a memorable name. Like, you hear it a lot. But like,
But I've heard
we
Mike
all
Johnson.
heard Mike Johnson
That's
plenty
true.
of
So it's like,
times.
where did I hear
Look at
Mike
Corey trying
Johnson?
to give us a name.
What you got?
Anybody.
Coach us.
One is the head of the Senate, and the other is the head of the House.
Oh,
the head
so
of the
they're
Senate, one's the
both.
head of
This
the
is a
House.
tricky question. I believe this. Okay.
Yeah.
What's the difference between the Senate and the House?
Who was
I know that they
sitting-
mean different things.
You're submitting this podcast. Don't expose.
no,
that you
I've
don't
read it.
know.
I've
Just
read
give
it.
the
I've
right
read it.
answer.
I've read it. But what's the difference?
Oh man, you're asking the wrong person.
Do you remember?
They're just the.
one does something else, and then they always don't like each other.
They're a legislative branch.
The best part of this is
But
if
one does
somebody's
something
tuning
different.
in, they're going to assume I knew the answer, but you're the one who knew the answer. Like if you looked at
Because
the
I'm
panel,
a good dad.
You are, you're a very
Like
good
what
dad.
is the difference between the House and the Senate?
The House it's based off of population.
Pop?
Each senator gets 2.
Oh, okay. But they all get to vote on the same things? Because they each have to vote in order for something to go through, right?
Based on population.
And so okay, so one has more California, and they're trying to redo that. That's when they're always talking about the new maps they're trying to make, not real maps, but like censuses.
You mean like flat
House,
Earth
got
maps?
it.
Like redistrict ticket. Like
Okay, coin
redistrict-
toss.
Gerrymandering. It's
Yes,
called, yeah,
exactly.
gerrymandering.
All
What's
right.
your
what's your
educated
answer?
guess here, Kim?
I mean, if we're going with test rules, it's B because it's always B.
That's a good one.
Like, isn't that the ultimate test rule?
You go B, I'll take A. I'm going to say it's Chuck Schumer.
What are you picking?
What do you think, Peter?
I trust you, Kim.
Okay, so click B, and then
I
we'll
have faith-
see
I have
if you would have
full
won
faith
just
in
out of
you.
default.
You're
Oh
voting
no!
Chuck Schumer? Oh,
It's Mike
I was
Johnson.
right. That's what he
It was
looks
B,
like.
Mike Johnson.
He
Dang,
was
he's
sat-
got lip gloss on, guys.
If I'm-
He's
if-
definitely got lip gloss on.
I may be wrong, but he was sat behind Joe Biden at the State of the Union address.
Oh,
I could
that's
not pick
right.
out that guy
Oh,
in a
okay.
lineup. He looks
Yeah, look at him.
exactly like every white guy who's over 55.
He looks like
a-
Bob Iger's
Every
cousin.
guy. That
looks
guy
like-
is in every subway station.
He
in New
looks
York.
like Mike Johnson, the most generic name, the most generic looking white guy with glasses. The
He's like
most
a
generic
creative
hair.
character.
Do you
in
think
a
he
video
could pass
game.
this test?
That's who you start with.
Let's
yeah.
see.
Do I think he could pass this test? I think if you gave this test to some of the people in the government, they would not score as well
They
as
should
they
do that. They should make them all
That's
do
what I'm
it.
talking about.
I imagine they do well, but I imagine they
Where
miss
is
something
the
here and
Statue
there.
of Liberty?
Where's the Statue
It's
of
in New York.
Liberty?
It's not in
Oh.
San Francisco. It's not in Boston Harbor. Long Island or New York Harbor. It's C or D.
Ooh, okay.
I
Have
think
you
it's
been to
in-
the Statue of Liberty?
I have. I
Did you
just don't
climb it?
remember.
Did you get all the way up there?
It's in the middle of the water, so I don't remember. Maybe I think Long Island. What do you think?
My
New York
guess
Harbor?
is New York Harbor.
All right, I agree
I'm
with
gonna
that.
go
I
with
can
that.
go Harbor.
Well,
D.
Have you been? Have you been to the Statue of Liberty?
oh my gosh. I have not,
Go for it.
but it's New York Harbor. That's
It's
the
D.
answer.
New York Harbor.
But speaking of New York and speaking of Kim's history,
Uh-oh.
what is your hot take on P. Diddy?
Oh, we can't talk about that.
Oh God.
Did you sign? Are you
getting-
like the girls of Dream? You signed an NDA?
No, I'm just another dancer, rapper guy that I've danced for that has gotten in trouble for, diddying, and then I
Diddy-
never got
Diddy diddled.
touched. So there
Diddy
we go.
diddled.
Again.
You say
A
it
riddle.
so upsettedly.
That's because whatever.
Yeah,
No one ever.
yeah.
Was
tried
there
to touch
anything
me.
looking back now where you're like, oh, that was the writing on the wall?
No.
No, okay.
I
he
think
just
we
yelled
all.
at
You kept your eyes closed.
I don't think anybody in the
I mean,
You're
my
there to do
job
your
was to
job.
grope him, and that was the
Oh.
choreography. Like,
Right,
So I
yeah.
was just like, but I also feel like that was the 90s.
Yeah.
That was the 90s. Lots of groping.
For those of you who have no idea what's happening, I danced for Puff Daddy. Okay.
He was Puff Daddy at the time.
I thought she was going to explain the
Diddy.
news story.
No, I'm not.
For those of you that don't know
Diddy's
what's
very
going on,
scary.
I was
I
just
don't know the
raided by
full-
Homeland Security, and Kim used to dance
Name
for
one
him.
pop.
No connection.
Problem.
It sounds like working for P. Diddy is like working like non-union.
Lead. I
a
thought that says
non-union
ice.
job.
It said name one.
Kim's more focused on
Yeah,
the
because-
future.
wait, what
Kim,
was-
you're focused on the future. Digging
Oh,
up
that's
your past.
so
I'm
much
sorry.
better.
I'm sorry.
Oh,
Name
you
one
made it bigger.
problem that led to the Civil War. Oh my
Sugar,
God! Let me say
slavery,
this. Let me say
Western
this. In
I'm not reading it in
Florida,
order.
in Florida, they did not tell us that. They told us that the Civil War was not fought over slavery. They said it was fought over states' rights, and that slavery had very little to do with the Civil
I've
War.
heard.
Isn't
I've
that
heard
wild?
that different school systems have taught that.
I wonder what they're saying now. Hopefully, the truth.
I mean,
It's slavery.
what? Like it was a big thing.
Yeah.
have
Yeah.
to
We don't
say,
even need
yeah.
to read the other
Because
things.
as I
It's
understand
not
it, they
sugar.
were arguing that slavery was supposed to be a state decided thing. Like that's what I
Yeah.
understand it to be. That so it's masking it by going like, oh, it's about states' rights, but the thing that they were mad was going to be federally banned.
It's because they don't want
was-
to. It's
Which is why Lincoln federally banned slavery, because they could declare war then and say you're not following federal law.
Yeah. So then, like present day, when anybody argues, "Oh, that should be a state's decision," that kind of is in the same breath as what you're saying.
Which
you
is
know,
wild
regardless to-
because
all right. We got to speed round these last
go
ones.
there, yeah.
Okay.
Kim's focused on the future. I keep digging up P. Diddy.
I'm just looking at the time. Name of the U.S. war between the North and South: the Revolutionary War, the War of 1812 is between Canada, the Civil War, and World War I. So it's not World War I, and it's not the War of 1812.
I think it's a civil war, but who won the War of 1812?
Canada, that's why you guys don't call it a war. Because you guys never lost a war.
What was
that's
the,
why.
what was the war?
Vietnam.
about?
They call it a conflict
was
because
the
they
war
say
about?
not enough bodies died, but more bodies died in that than other wars that have happened.
The
so.
pride.
Yeah, you make sure you tell
it's
the green
also
card
like-
people that.
No, well,
shit-
here's
Make
the
sure you come in with that
So
energy.
It's like you don't understand. Canadians.
I
fucking,
went to
you
school-
come in with
I
when
went
we
to
came
school
in.
junior and
We
senior
took
year
you
in
motherfuckers
America.
out. She's like, we killed more people than
I
anyone
went to
else.
school in New York junior year and senior year,
Hmm.
and you guys do like a New York Regents where you have to like pass all these that matter, and it was American history, and I had no idea American history, so I just really read the textbook from the first page to the last page, like the week of the test, and I passed it all except for the War of 1812, and then they said I wasn't going to pass the whole school, blah, blah, and then I got my textbook sent from Canada, brought it into the principal, and was like history is literally like whose Thanksgiving meal is better. You
Yep.
can't say that my mom's stuffing is not as good as your mom's stuffing. It's literally
Wow.
in the Who told the story, and I got it passed because I showed them my textbook versus your guys' textbook.
That's amazing. And
That
so,
was the year that I moved. Like
did
months
these
within
adults
me
have
moving
to
here.
admit that they were wrong?
No, they just gave. They probably also didn't want as a school to say that someone didn't pass.
No.
Because it was a
Admitting
school with
you're
like 40
wrong.
kids. They were like trying to. it was a
Admitting you're
bougie-ass
wrong
school.
is something a dad does. Fathers do not admit they're wrong.
Okay, which one? War or civil? What did you say? Revolutionary or silver?
It's the Civil War.
See.
It's of course the Civil War.
I don't think you really know these things. I
North
think you're
and
just
South.
agreeing with us. with
I
counsel.
knew that. I knew the
see.
Civil War.
Okay.
I made a show about Abraham Lincoln. I knew the Civil War.
It's
Nice.
true. What major event happened on September 11, 2001 in the United States?
We've already talked about this.
Well, okay.
It's the
God bless
answer.
the
Hurricane
USA became the
Andrew,
new
the
national
Japanese
anthem.
The
attacked
answer's
Pearl
in the
Harbor.
question, right?
The accidental 3 Mile Island terrorist attack on the United States. It's D.
It is D.
You guys, I might pass this test.
Yeah.
I might be old enough that history that's on it is stuff that I was here for.
Yeah.
That's
Whoa.
cool. I like that. What did Martin Luther King do? He became a U.S. senator.
Not a damn thing.
That's the,
Cheat on his wife?
no, but I do. So we talked about this because I've taken this test before. I like that he is on the test because some people would
Decided
be
to
surprised.
smoke a cigarette in the wrong balcony?
Jesus
What are you talking about?
What did Martin Luther King do?
Oh, okay.
You're Kim's focused on the future.
Really
here.
trying to win.
Wait, he's the guy who started the franchise Burger King, right?
It's C.
that
It's
not
C.
He
He fought for civil rights.
He fought for civil rights.
Also made a show about him. So
Should
yeah.
still think about him. And yeah.
Name one American Indian tribe in the United States. Oh, I can't say that
the
first one.
Los
Someone
Angeles
else reads
Lakers.
it. Cherokee isn't that one?
That is.
But can
Jeep
someone
Grand
read
Cherokee.
these out loud?
I can't read these from here.
It looks like it says Slavs.
Slavs.
Celts.
Jesus
Celts.
Christ.
Zoe-
Zoe Kemi.
Zawicchemi.
Yeah, I love how you say Z is.
Don't say Z. on the
Cherokee. I think it's
Cherokee.
D. Cherokee.
Yeah.
How are you gonna? Yeah, that's my guess.
I
as
just
well.
know people in
the
Cherokee.
worst Jeep as well, by the way.
Oh, really?
Grand Cherokee.
What is the one thing Benjamin Franklin is famous for? What
That's
did
The
you?
one, the Grand Cherokee, the
That's
worst
all-
of all Jeeps.
Oh yeah, yeah.
This is a tough question.
What's the one thing he did?
Benjamin
that he's famous-
Franklin.
he's
Which one was
famous for
that
a lot
guy?
of things.
What did Benjamin do?
Well, I don't think he invented the airplane.
Youngest member of the Constitutional
Convention.
Convention. Ooh, I don't know what that is.
I don't know.
Inventor of the airplane, U.S. diplomat, third president of the United States. Who was that?
Was he
The third president of the United States might have been Madison.
He was a president,
No,
right?
he was not a president. That's
He's on the
that's a
$100
fun
bill,
one.
but he's not the president.
He's not-
right?
he's-
Wait, Benjamin Franklin wasn't a president?
Benjamin Franklin.
You
was not a
guys gotta
president.
stop praising people who had nothing to do
We
with
should
shit.
stop praising people who were not presidents, so no one ever talk about anyone not a president.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you.
But this is a weird question in terms of what he's most famous for, because you would argue also he was known for the flying the kite with a key on it and discovering electricity, and that's not on there.
That's what he's most famous for, yeah.
He was not a president. He did not invent the airplane. That was the Wright brothers.
He could
I don't
have
think he
been-
was even part of the he might have been part of the Constitutional Congress, but my guess is he's known
See?
for being a U.S. diplomat because he went to France for a while and was really big on relations with France. And when
That's
I say
a-
relations, it was also sexual. in
Oh,
nature.
nice.
All right.
He had a
That's
lot
America.
of STDs.
I'm happy to, yeah, I think that's a good educated guess.
I like
In
it.
my, for me. There you
That's
go.
why they wore wigs, right?
Yeah.
Because of
Why?
all the STDs? Because
Yes.
all them, yeah,
Yes,
yeah,
to cover
yeah.
up syphilis. Yeah.
Oh,
Syphilis has something to do with your head somehow.
that's gross.
You lose your hair, it makes it weird.
Those guys were eating pussy way different back then.
I'm just telling you offhandedly, I've never had syphilis, so
Oh, okay.
I don't know what it does.
Amendments to the Constitution about who can vote. Describe one of them.
Ooh.
You guys.
Ooh.
Ooh, finally a question I can get into.
I make the same sound when I see a box of Oreos too. Ooh.
A, only citizens with a job can vote. That's not true.
That's not true.
B, citizens by birth can vote.
Only.
It doesn't
It
say
says by
only.
birth
Does,
only can vote.
That's not true either. Citizens 18 and older can vote. Citizens 17 and older. So it's got to be C, right?
Well, see, that's for like smoking cigarettes.
I thought you had to be 18 to vote.
And,
I thought you had to be 18.
I thought it'd be
to vote.
18 to
Wait,
buy
isn't it
cigarettes.
saying-
I think it's both.
There are 4 amendments in the Constitution.
What's more important?
But who can vote? I think it's C.
I would agree.
I think that's a good guess.
I would agree.
Thank you.
I don't think Peter believes in it, but I think he wants to agree with us.
I agree with you.
Boom! Oh, you
Corey is
should-
crushing this
Yeah,
test.
he's
It
like,
was an amendment, huh? Well,
Corey, you should submit this podcast for getting a job, maybe. I don't know.
he's making
Yeah.
sure that it is the 14th Amendment. He's reading it.
The 21st
Something
Amendment, he said.
1964.
it's an amendment.
Nice.
Nice.
get it.
That was close. You
You're
know
doing
your
better
American
than we
history. History. I can't even say
Can
the
we
word.
get you like a
History.
bug and then Corey just like
Yes.
you
Oh my
know,
gosh, we totally
in your
can
ear for the
nowadays.
test?
Uh,
Yeah.
What is the supreme law of the land? Supreme law of the land. That sounds like a good salad dressing.
That's no. Supreme law is sour cream, shredded
sounds
cheese,
like
ground beef.
The Article of Confederation, the Declaration of Independence, the Constitution, the Emancipation Proclamation. That sounds like an STD.
Emancipation Proclamation.
That
My
sounds like
guess
a
is
witch,
the-
like a guy coming early and like taking his little pee out. That's what that last one is. The Emancipation Proclamation. That's
I
like
proclaim
a
I've been
really bad
emancipated.
ex-boyfriend. That's
his
what that
little
one
pee-pee
is.
out.
Corey's
Well, I
not
think we've
approving of
already
that
answered
answer.
enough to get a passing grade, so you know, who
ju-
cares? The Constitution is my guess.
Yeah.
But the Declaration of Independence also sounds correct.
Let's go
That-
Constitution.
but that just
no,
declares
because the
their
Constitution is the
independence
first
from
thing,
England.
so it's the most important.
That's a supreme. Yeah, that could be. That's a good point. There,
We're
Kim.
number one. Yeah,
Constitution
that's America.
is the supreme
Whatever makes it
law
feel
of
like
the
we're
land.
number one is right.
The Constitution is the only book where the movie's actually
What does
better
the
than
president cabinet do? He
holds-
makes
it holds-
jelly.
And President's cabinet holds precious moments.
Hashtag whatever. Okay, makes laws. All of these. Why is that second?
Yeah, it's
book.
Commands
Trying to trick
the
you into
U.S.
picking B as the answer
Armed
because B
Force
is always the answer.
Advises the president.
See,
What,
A
do you,
is
what do you
difficult.
think the cabinet does? I think I know this
I
one.
think it's D because
Yeah.
someone's got to talk to that person, but I don't think
Oh,
they make
interesting.
the law because aren't the people supposed to make laws technically? If we're
So
going
people in
by-
a cabinet aren't people now?
Okay,
They're
trying to
not
get me
people?
taken down off the internet already.
If Kim was in here, I would have guessed B, but Kim brings up some great points about just D.
I would have guessed D as well.
But I don't know, Kim. What do you say?
These nuts.
Oh,
There's like on his cabinet, there's the chief of staff. There's the.
But you said on his cabinet. The cabinet is the thing, so
In
it's
his cabinet,
advises
yeah.
thing. Yeah,
there's
yeah.
the blunt roller.
Oh, look at that photo of all of
Advises
these
the
guys.
president. That's correct.
Oh, guys, I'm gonna get my green card.
You are.
I think
so
we could
proud
do,
of you.
If we do this like 2 more times, I think it could apply.
When do
Yeah.
you celebrate independence? When
And
do
this is the
we
way you
celebrate
should learn how to
Independence
become a
Day?
citizen. Just take the test, not go and read the books that they want.
100%.
Just take a bunch of tests.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like the pre-SATs.
When
Yeah.
do we celebrate the Independence Day? July 4th.
Nailed it.
That's right, July 4th. It must be, right? 4th of July.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Canada's is July 1st, in case you were wondering.
Is it?
I wasn't.
Okay. Wait, when's your Thanksgiving?
Ours got moved to October.
Oh,
It
really?
used to be in November.
Oh.
And then they voted on it to move it to October because everyone just says it's because no one wanted to see their family back to back. Like everyone needed a break.
I thought they were just
It's
like,
too
you know
much
what?
turkey
We've been
back to
feeling
back, like-
grateful sooner in the year. Why are we
No, it's
waiting?
also probably weather.
That's fair.
Because it's a harvest thing.
Yeah.
In Canada, Thanksgiving is about having an abundance of harvest.
That's what it is
It's
based on in
yeah.
ours, but not
Yeah.
much anymore.
D, please, July 4th.
That's it.
2 more. Okay. Oh, this is new questions.
What is the name?
What is the name of the Vice President of the United States right now? Kamala Harris.
They threw that in there. They threw Dick Cheney in
Dick Cheney's
there
just a fun name.
yeah,
He has a
but
great name.
That would have been the answer in 08, wouldn't it? No.
Nope.
No, but that'd be fucked
would've
up.
been Joe Biden.
Oh, it would have been Joe Biden, yeah. Oh. but
And
Biden
Dick
is-
Cheney was president.
Two more. We got this.
I'm making statements.
We elected U.S. representatives for how many years? 6, 8, 4, or 2? Crap. If they
Great
had
question. I think the answer is
You're so
6.
political. Great
Peter
question.
has said great question after every question starting through the
You're
podcast.
such
Go
a
back and watch the
politician.
whole podcast.
It's very fun.
Kim
Drink
is like,
every time he says.
Kim is like, what grade did you start school in?
That's a great question. How many times have I said that? This is a great question because we're asking.
Great
We're not
question.
only asking what the answer is, but we're wondering what should be true, right? I think it should be. Can you really do anything in 2 years? Anything? You can't even get a college degree in 2 years.
You can.
Maybe in some places, yeah, you're right.
It's 4 or 8 is my guess.
My guess is 6, actually.
My
Okay.
guess is 2.
Something is every 2 and something is every 4, and they switch.
Yeah.
I know that. So I'm leaning
There's
more his
midterm
way.
elections, right?
I go 2 now.
Let's go 2.
Sorry.
You said 2?
Yeah, I switched.
There's no way the answer's 2.
No, they like to roll things out.
My guess
Your
is
guess
6.
is 6, but we're gonna click 2.
We're gonna click on 2. Yeah, sure.
Wow,
it's 2.
2!
It should be 6.
Oh, yeah, that's why nothing gets done. There's your answer.
Because
You just said, how could anybody get
Yeah,
anything
and that's
done
why
every
it's a
2
good
years?
question. Yeah,
Because we vote every 2 years on
right.
other things.
Yeah.
You're so smart, Kim.
Someone's
don't
term
know.
is 6. Something
Yeah.
is 6.
Yeah.
6 years.
Maybe 6 is max for them or something like that.
Is that Congress?
don't
Congress
know.
is 6?
I don't know, but we have a chance to go 19-1 here.
Look,
You guys,
I've watched
I
House
forget
of
what
Cards
the
3
one thing
times.
was
I
we
don't know
got
the
wrong.
difference
Oh,
John
it was
Adams.
the John
Congress.
Adams thing.
Yeah.
I forget what it was, the other
Because
question.
you two didn't watch Hamilton hard enough.
No,
You
I
didn't
watched.
either.
I
Yeah.
watched the John Adams.
Senators as every 6?
U.S.
Nice.
representatives are 2 years.
Reps. Okay, so your manager, your rep. I'm just trying to remember this. Put it in my brain.
Why did the colonists fight the British?
High taxes because they
taxation
didn't
without
have
representation.
self-government. All of these answers.
Wow, it
Because
seems
the
like all these
British
answers are
Army
good.
stayed in their houses.
That's
a great. It can't be C because of D.
Wow, that's a great
Actually-
Can
point.
you imagine? Why did we fight somebody? Oh, they wouldn't come outside and play, so I couldn't invite them to my birthday party.
No, because the British soldiers were staying in Americans' houses.
Oh,
And
I
isn't
thought it was
there-
that they were like in their houses, like,
the
no,
British soldiers
we're
would
not
come out
gonna
and
talk
play."
to you. Sorry.
But isn't that a
having tea.
constitutional law that you can't
Take
house,
over houses,
No, you
something?
can't house a British
There's something.
soldier.
There's something like that. Yeah. There, but I don't know if it's British. I think it's like other
Give the
things.
finger guns?
That's a great statement.
What are you going with, Kim?
Okay, wait.
What's your
Why
big-
did the colonists fight the British?
It comes down to this because you can't miss
Because
more than
they
one. If you
didn't-
miss 2, you fail.
Shut up. That's not true.
Yeah.
This isn't my driver's
Yeah, I
test.
took this when I was 6 years old. Remember?
That's a great answer. Because they didn't have self-government, don't they?
This is your whole future on the line here, Kim.
I'm gonna go C.
See
go
all
all-
these
Yeah,
answers.
because then one
All
of
of
them
these
will be
answers.
right.
All right.
2 of them will be wrong, but one of
Let's
them will be
click
right.
C.
If you
You're
click
going for
C,
C?
do you see my thought?
Hey, she won!
Kim's only gone and done it. Look at what it means.
Kim's a citizen.
She's a citizen.
It only took 3 other people.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Was that right?
Welcome
Yeah, I'm
to
just
my
not gonna do it.
house.
Oh, I thought I
Play
did
the
it.
music so loud.
I was trying to think the American anthem, but that one came easier.
The Star Spangled Banner.
Kim, you should do something like when you pass this. You should get like a tattoo, like a cool like a state tattoo or something.
No, but
Or
I do
like
want to get a
United
ring
States tattoo.
tattoo. I want to get a tattoo. I'm thinking that's like a ring that says ring. And my husband says it's dumb.
It's fun.
I just like the idea.
That's
of that.
silly.
I think
If
you
you
should
get
a
one
But I
thing-
don't wear jewelry, but I want to wear jewelry. So I figure if I tattoo jewelry, then I'm like wearing jewelry, but I never have to put it on.
I think
Okay.
you should get a big bald eagle on your back.
Like
Only
Ben Affleck's back tattoo, but a
Yep.
bald eagle.
when you do it.
When I do it, all right, deal.
Damn, that'd be sick.
When we hit 1 million followers.
All
if
right.
you
But we
get
both have-
a silly tattoo, you got to get all silly tattoos. You got to keep
I already
getting
have
silly
2 tattoos.
But are they silly though?
Yeah,
They're silly
one of them is.
because of the location or because of what it
So one of
it
them is
says?
on my back, not in the middle, not a whore. It is
Your lower back?
It's 2 dancers, stick people, doing everything technically incorrect in dancing.
Oh, that's funny.
Thank
How
you.
big is it? Everything technically incorrect. Is it a diagram?
No, it's 2 stick figure dancers.
envisioned a
One of
diagram as
one
well.
of them is doing a really busted Batma, and the other one's doing a busted arabesque with
I-
sickle feet, bent knees. So
I always do that. Yes.
yeah, you wouldn't.
Oh,
You guys would
I
look at it and be like,
hate-
"That's really cool," but every dancer would be like, "Oh,
I
that's
hate a
wrong."
busted
right.
Batma.
Do you
Right.
know what a
Oh
Batma
my
is?
God.
It ruins
Yeah.
my evening.
And whenever busted one. Oof.
yes,
Ugh.
it's so go back to
Yeah.
Juilliard.
Can you
Thank you.
please Batma correctly and not botch it?
Peter, this is gonna come out next Tuesday or Tuesday coming up. Is there anything that you want to promote?
Yes, I'm going to say it right here. I'm going to make the declaration
Oh, I know
right
what it
here. August 1st,
Woo woo!
I am laying down a feature-length comedy special
Oh, cool. This is not what I thought it was.
being filmed at the Hotel Cafe here in Hollywood.
Oh,
Dang, when are you gonna film it?
Where am I going to film
When?
it?
Do you know when?
August 1st.
Like in a few days? Oh,
August
August is not
1st.
April.
August 1st, yeah.
My
We
mind.
should
learn
I'm
that for
done.
the test.
Yeah.
You can't be an
I'm
American.
What
tired.
months does America represent or acknowledge?
August 1st, get your tickets. That's amazing.
Yeah, I'm excited about that. That's gonna be fun. And then, follow me on Instagram. And if you get to this in time, April 12th, I'm gonna be headlining the main room, Flappers in Burbank.
Yeah.
Seats still available.
Nice. I know it's coming out next week, but I'm going to promote the show this week just in case. March 29th at 7:30 at the Improv.
It's gonna be too late.
Oh.
It doesn't
cool.
matter. You're
You
gonna
missed
see
it.
this. You're gonna see this podcast years from now and be like, "Oh my God, Eddie has a show at the Improv. That's so cool." April
You can see it next
18th,
time.
I'm doing one of the headlining sets at Flappers in the Yoo-Hoo Room, and follow me on Instagram and TikTok at I am Eddie Furth. That's where all my other shit is.
That's him.
You figure out what outfit I'm wearing for the day.
And then I have a special out. Go watch it. Female comedian. And if you do watch it, and thank you those of you who did, because I really do appreciate it. It's actually helping me get on NCIS. We'll talk about that later. Comment on, like it, comment, do something.
Where
Don't
can I
just
find
watch
it? Where can I find
It's
it?
on everything but Netflix.
How can I comment on it?
Like if you watch it on Amazon, give it 5 stars.
Oh, okay, yeah.
If you watch it on YouTube, give it a thumbs up.
Oh yeah.
Depending on where you're watching it, just do something.
On
I
all
watched
platforms.
it on YouTube and I gave it a.
All right, school's out. You failed. Boom. Thank you.